What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Now I'm going to do a video here. I don't think it's going to be a super in-depth long one, but I'm going to make it kind of short, sweet, simple for you guys. Change it up a little bit, and we're going to talk about washing cars. I've had a lot of questions about, Troy, can you do a video on how you wash your cars? In reality, it's not that crazy of a process. I'm just going to kind of go over what I use, some of the tools that I use, and then kind of step one, step two, step three. I don't really need to, show you guys how to actually wash a car. I think most of you guys understand the process, but I kind of wanted to give you my rundown and my thought process of what I go through when doing that. And the car that I'm going to demo it on, many of you guys might know, is always dirty, it's always filthy. It's Mike's 570. So if you guys can see on here, it is just, there's just dirt everywhere. I don't know if it's going to come out on here. If you look at the light there, there's just all sorts of dirt all around here. The car's just always filthy. It may look good from back here, but kudos to Mike. He drives the crap out of this thing. So we're gonna go through, I'm gonna show you guys the buckets that I use. I use a 2-bucket method. Technically I use a 3-bucket method, but one's for the wheels. So I use a 2-bucket method. I'm gonna go over the wash mitts, the soap, kind of just where I start and how I do that. So let's get right into it. Here's kind of the buckets I was saying I was using. Now I have these 2 buckets. These are from Obsessed Garage, Matt Mormon's channel. If you guys are looking for buckets, he sells this whole package, or you can piece it together yourself. You can buy the stickers from him, but have kind of a wash bucket, a rinse bucket, and then a separate wheel bucket here. So have these guys connected. Again, you can buy this whole grit guard kit from him. I'll link it below. Definitely go support him. He's just as OCD, maybe more as I am. But you're gonna fill, soap water up here, clean water in here. Standard 2-bucket method, if you guys aren't familiar with, you pretty much wash the car, wash the panel, get rinse off the pad, go back into your wash bucket, get fresh, clean, soapy water, go back to your panel, rinse it in here, and you kind of repeat and go from there. Wheel bucket, obviously you want a separate wheel bucket because wheels are always filthy and dirty. You want to keep that separately. Each bucket has a grit guard. They're all color coordinated, so you can look at it right away and just tell pretty quickly. Soap that I'm using, I use pretty much standard, the Adams car shampoo. You could use this on a coated vehicle, a non-coated vehicle. It's just a really good, budget-friendly, pH-neutral shampoo. I just love this stuff. I will always use it. I will never stop using it. You can buy it in a gallon form. Buy a gallon, I refill a couple of these. Always a sale going on or something. You can pick it up. Wash mitts. I believe this is a Microfiber Madness wash mitt, just a square pad. And I also like to use the Adams. Now there's some controversy with this, but I've never had an issue with this pad. The one thing though that I've found with this pad that you need to do is, after you wash it, keep an eye on it. Sometimes it does get some dirt in there, which I go through and I pull it out. And then you can actually go ahead and use as funny as it is, a pet hair brush and brush it to kind of mat it out. But what I do is I go through, and let's say I'm using this pad. I'll get the pad wet, I'll go through, then I'll wring it out, and then I'll take the soap and I will prime the pad. So right before I'm ready to wash, I'll put a bunch of soap in here like so. I'll butterfly the wash mitt together, get it all rubbed in, dip it back in the wash bucket and start washing. So that's priming the pad. That gets the pad really lubricated, ready to go. Again, you want to pick up as much as you can on the surface. So let's go ahead and wash. I'm going to use a foam gun with a hose because I don't have the pressure washer here at the house. So normally I usually wash the cars a little bit later in the day when the sun's going down. We're gonna use the foam gun, which I'm doing this too because most of you guys, that's what you're gonna have. Not everybody has a pressure washer foam cannon. So you can use what we call a foam gun, where you attach a nozzle or a different gun, attachment to the hose, and then the foam gun attaches to it, which is this guy. So you're gonna fill up some soap, some water, mix in here. This attaches to the hose right here and gives you some foaming action. So we're gonna foam down the car, let that sit for probably 2-3 minutes. It is sunny outside, but it's not gonna hurt because Adams car shampoo, that stuff's pH neutral. Any soap that's pH neutral, not a big deal if it gets a little hot. And we're always gonna keep re-wetting the car. And then I'm gonna go through, foam down the car, and show you guys my procedures and everything. Not sure if we're gonna do the wheels today. They're not really that dirty, so we might just wipe them down a little bit. But I am gonna foam them down and quickly kind of sponge them down. I don't think we have a need to get into the barrels or anything like that because most of that dirt will come off. They are carbon ceramics, so there's very little brake dust to begin with. So let's get to it. So you can see here, have this filled up. It's labeled, most of them are. This attaches to your hose here. I have the dial set to 0, which gives you the most amount of air coming in here through those holes, give you the most amount of foam. So we're gonna go ahead, rinse the car down, then we're gonna attach this, foam the car down, go ahead and wash the car with the buckets there, and then take this off and use the hose like normal. Here's what I mean by priming the pad. Bunch of soap in there. Fold that up. Car's foaming down, it's finishing, pretty much running off. So now we're gonna go ahead and start washing. Top to bottom, pretty simple as that. Remember, every time you're done washing, you stick this in the rinse bucket. Get some fresh water to rinse everything off, back in your wash bucket. So the car's been clean. We've been kind of keeping the water all over it because the sun is pretty strong today. But as I mentioned, we're using pH neutral soap, so it's not that big of a deal if the soap dries on there. But we want to go ahead and we're gonna pull it in the garage here and then start drying it in the garage in the shade. That's the best way to dry the vehicle. So keep it as soaked as you can, or keep as much water on it as you can as you're going through this. So if you rinse the right side of the car, go ahead and rinse the roof and the windshield and the hood, and just keep cycling through that. So let's get the car inside here, start drying it, and show you the results. Got it in here, have the lights on, have the garage door down a little bit. So let me kind of show you here. Mike's car doesn't really have much protection on it. You can kind of see all these streaks and these kind of water lines, I'll call them. See how it's all kind of spread out. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna dry the car off, and then we're gonna put a spray sealant on there for him so he has something, because he does kind of daily drive this. I'm pretty sure this is his daily driver, especially springtime, summertime now. So got it out of the sunlight, let's go ahead and dry it. We use dryer towel here from the Rag Company. I believe it's called the Twist and Shout. The nap on it is meant to pick up a lot of water, so you can almost dry a whole car with this. So what I pretty much do is I lay it out here, you know, as flat as I can get it, kind of pat it down just lightly, and then you kind of just drag along like this, pull off as much as you can, and it'll go ahead and it'll pretty safely pull off as much stuff. So again, you know, lay it out here, kind of get the best trajectory for the most amount of water that I need to pull off, pat it down in the heavy water areas, kind of pull it down here, pull it straight down. Not a lot, you're not really putting any pressure, you're just laying on here and pulling it off. Just like so. So you can see it's already drying fair enough. So I'm not gonna show you this whole thing, I'm just gonna, you know, cue a time lapse right about now. Car's all dried off. Didn't need to show you much with that. Just wanted to show you, you know, one panel or two, and you can see the rest from there. But again, you know, you kind of guys have heard me talk about it. Start from the top, work your way down. If you're doing your wheels and you're heavily cleaning your wheels, you want to start with your wheels first. Always start with your wheels first, because when you're cleaning the wheels, it's going to shoot up stuff all over here, and you don't want to do that last and shoot up on fresh paint and now have to pull that off. So always start with your wheels. Work to the body. If you're using a pH neutral soap, you can wash in the direct sunlight. I know some people don't have access to a garage. Again, you know, I'm contemplating setting up a pressure washer solution in here where I can pressure wash and foam in here. And you know, this floor is on a slight grade, so water does run out of it. I can do that, or I can just squeegee it out. So I am thinking about that. Obviously I'm not at the shop, so I'm kind of working in my own personal space here on this one. You know, it's fairly straightforward. Just stop and think about what you're doing. Again, make sure you don't have any dirt in your wash bin. Always use the 2 buckets, rinse, wash. At least that's my opinion. You know, just pay attention, work slow, work smart. You know, soaps, anything pH neutral for that matter. Now that we're all done, I want to make sure I put something on here to protect this. So we're gonna go ahead and put a sealant on here and get that all tidied up, so that way Mike, when he's driving it around, it hopefully it'll get a little dirty, but it'll make it a little easier for him to wash and take care of. So I know, guys, this is not a really super in-depth video. It's just with summer right here around the corner and springtime, I wanted to kind of just talk about it real quick. Maybe I'll do a super technical video at the shop sometime, but I did want to kind of film this because this car wasn't filthy, but it definitely needed a wash. So just, again, be smart, pay attention with what you're doing. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll try to answer them as best I can. There's a ton of videos on the best way to wash your car and all this, so I kind of feel like this video didn't need to be another one of those. I just wanted to give you guys an insight on how I kind of do things on a quick wash. Most of the time, I won't even wash a car entirely if it's already been washed a week ago. It just needs a wipe down or something like that. I'll go through and follow that. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Shoot questions down below if you have any questions on that. Buckets, go ahead and support Matt Mormon at Obsessed Garage. I'll link his stuff below. He is all things detailing. I mean, you guys think I'm into detailing? Wait till you check out his channel, so go support him. He's a good friend of mine, and you know, I always like to support my friends. So thank you guys for watching. Click that red subscribe button. We'll see you on the next video.